Hey, welcome to Sports Unfolded NFL Midseason Review Show. Ron, how you doing?
Kind of pissed off
Uh-oh. Why?
because I watched First Take like an idiot. Do you know? I now feel that Stephen A. Smith is nothing but a bag of hot air. That's what I feel. Do you know he called that tackle or the play where where Mac Jones grabbed his leg and
Yeah,
tried to stop him from getting the ball?
yeah.
He called that a dirty play.
A lot of people are, though, on that part of it. But I would say at the end of the day, Mac's reasoning was he thought that he had the ball and he was trying to tackle him. So, you know what? If the play didn't get hurt, I don't think it would have been as big a deal.
But the point is that this buffoon, and I am calling him a buffoon, has no clue what's going on, and all he does is just make controversy,
That's
kind of
what
like what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, exactly.
And and he doesn't let his guests talk. This is why Max Kellerman couldn't work with him, because he's just a know-it-all and he knows absolutely nothing. Today, Keyshawn Johnson, I give him a lot of credit because Keyshawn Johnson, we know he's a Jet.
Yeah.
So he's not going to favorite any Patriot player. And, he's like, what do you expect the guy to do? You got to tackle him. You got to do what you got to do.
No, I agree. I agree. All right, so let's get into this NFL review, mid-season review. So season's halfway done. So 18-week season. We just finished week 9. We had our preview show right at the beginning of the season. It was on a Tuesday right before the season started.
That's right.
So we came up with our picks of how we thought the divisions were going to be. We're going to see currently where they're at and see how close we are. So we're going to start in the AFC East.
AFC East.
And basically how I had the division, I had Buffalo, New England, Miami, New York. How did you have it?
I had it Buffalo, New England, New York, Miami.
So you're dead on. That's exactly how it is. Buffalo's 5-3 currently. New England 5-4 in second. New York 2-6 in third, and Miami 2-7 in fourth place. So no real surprises here, other than the fact that the New England Patriots are only a half game back for first place. Would you agree with that?
Well, that they're a half a game back, yes. I am a little surprised, and mostly not surprised where the Patriots are. Surprised where Buffalo is, because I had them light years ahead of everybody in this conference.
Yeah, and I believe you did actual records for each team, and you only had them with 2 losses, if I'm correct,
for the whole season. Yeah,
for the whole season. So they're already at 3 losses currently.
Yep.
So a couple of shockers, like they lost to Jacksonville and Pittsburgh.
Right. I mean,
right? So those are 2 teams they should have beaten.
Exactly. I believe I had them maybe at 1 loss at this point. If I'm not mistaken, did they play KC?
Yes.
And I had them losing that game. So.
All right. Well,
but I still have them in first place. So
yeah. So
I'm doing something
right. So overall, do we feel like this division's going to basically stay the way it is for the rest of the season?
Yes.
So I'm starting to become a Patriot believer.
Yeah.
And I think they could take this division.
It's possible now.
So, I mean, I think Miami and New York will battle it out for last. And I still expect Miami for some reason to finish ahead of New York. I just think they've got more talent. But I could see New England overtaking this division again and regaining the number 1 spot. So we'll have to see how that one goes and it plays out, especially once they play. So let's move on to the AFC North.
North.
And how did you have this division?
Let me see. I don't see. Wait, is this is the
Cleveland, Baltimore,
Cleveland,
Pittsburgh,
Baltimore? Yeah, I had Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, and then
the Bengals.
the Bengals.
I had Cleveland, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and then the Bengals, Cincinnati. The division currently is Baltimore at 6-2, Pittsburgh at 5-3, Cleveland at 5-4, and Cincinnati at 5-4. So obviously every team still involved in this division could go any which way, but
the way the AFC is going, nobody wants to be on top. So I mean, it is what it is. And Jordan, Patriots are back.
We believe they could be, man. This is probably the best we've seen in the last 2 years of them being consistent. So very good opportunity for the New England Patriots. And currently, if the season ended today, they'd actually be in the playoffs playing the Ravens in the first round, which is kind of crazy.
That is crazy. Actually, that's very crazy. But this North Division, I mean, you look at the division, like next week it could be flipped upside down.
Yep. Sorry,
I mean, this is going to be the division to watch.
Yeah, it could go anywhere.
You know, look, I am not a Baltimore Raven fan by no means. But I gotta respect this team for what they have done this year with all the issues that they've had with injuries. What they've done is nothing short of spectacular because, part of me is rooting for them. Part of me is not because I don't want to play them.
Yeah, no, I get that.
So, but I got to give them credit. But then, it's like I don't want my picks to be blown either. So,
yeah. So I looked at it this way. Thank you for the bits. If you look at the fact that Pittsburgh, honestly, has been a big surprise. I did not expect them to be in second place currently, especially with the rash of injuries. We talked about Ben Roethlisberger and what we expected from them. I think the biggest disappointment in this division is Cleveland. Because Cleveland on paper had the most talent, and
absolutely,
they're clinging, and it's a major game this week with New England. So again, the winner of that game kind of holds their playoffs in their hands.
And look, I've watched a lot of games this year, and throughout the course of the league. Now I've seen the Patriots play Tampa Bay. I've seen the Patriots play Dallas. I've seen the Patriots play the Chargers and also Carolina. And I'll tell you, those four teams, to me, right now are more impressive than what Cleveland has shown this year. And, it's probably the kiss of death, but I'm really not afraid of Cleveland. Especially now with COVID problems with Nick Chubb.
Both they running back.
And I can't think of the other guy's name.
The other guys, yeah.
But the other guy.
Yeah, so I think realistically, look, that the AFC North is up in the air. I think Baltimore right now looks like they're rising to the top in the division, but I think they've got to worry about Pittsburgh. Because Pittsburgh's got that little bit of swag, and you can never count Mike Tomlin out. I mean, the guy has not had a losing record as a head coach. Yeah, he finds ways to win.
Well, he did that last year as well. I mean, who expected them to be there in, playoff time? This is Pittsburgh. They play with pride. I mean, this is deep into their roots. Like, they are not going to go out quietly. That is for sure. So if Baltimore and Cleveland think that they're just going to coast into the playoffs, Pittsburgh is there to keep them honest.
They've got something to say about it.
Absolutely.
AFC South. This is a division that I'm pretty sure we're going to be pretty close on this as well. But I had Tennessee, Indianapolis, Jacksonville, and Houston were my four. How did you have it?
That's exactly how I had it.
So in the division currently, Tennessee's leading at 7-2. Indianapolis is second at 4-5. Jacksonville 2-6, and Houston at 1-8. So we had that one dead on. Key would be is the Derrick Henry injury. Will that hurt Tennessee? I don't think in the division so much as the playoffs.
Exactly.
I think this division, they've got a 3-game lead. I can't see them losing that. As much as the Colts have kind of figured it out and kind of started to play better football, I think they've dug themselves a big hole where they can't get out of it.
They also have a tough schedule, too, ahead of them, don't they?
Colts, yes.
If I'm not mistaken, I thought they have like at least 4 or 5 tough games that they still have to play.
Oh, let me see if I can bring that up. Poison, thanks for joining. Appreciate you. Let's see.
Polson. C. Polson.
Polson. What do they got? Where are we at?
And Sarah's out there. Of course, Sway with those bits. Always love bits.
So they still got, let's see, Buffalo, at Buffalo, Tampa Bay. They still got New England, at Arizona, Las Vegas. So, yeah, they've got a
I thought so. I thought they had 5 tough ones that they had ahead of them.
So, Indy should, I don't think Polson has been calling me Poison. Yeah. All right. So, in this division, so I think the only surprise for me is Jacksonville with 2 wins. At
this point, yeah, that might have been their whole season.
Right. So I didn't expect that. Houston is what we thought they were going to be. At least they've got to win. They're not over like another team that one of our counterparts had said was going to actually make the playoffs, I believe.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, interesting division, the AFC West. How did you have this one?
The West, well, I had KC. I had the Chargers, the Raiders, and then the Broncos.
Yep. So I had it exactly the same way as you, KC, LA, Las Vegas, and Denver. Yeah. The division currently is LA at 5-3, Las Vegas at 5-3, KC at 5-4, and Denver at 5-4. So
we have Kenny in the house.
Kenny has joined us. Maybe not.
Maybe.
Gotcha. So in this division, Ron, if you look at it, obviously Kansas City just hasn't been able to figure out how to get back to the winning ways. Raiders,
Kansas City just beat Green Bay. Yes, I know it was an Aaron Rodgers-less Green Bay, but that's a big win for them because now they have a winning record.
I thought the only thing that surprised me with them was the way it was only 13-7. Green Bay with a rookie quarterback, so the defense, held their own. But you would have expected more scoring from Kansas City.
I know.
Yeah.
But now they're at the halfway mark, and they're saying, "Hey, you know what? We're a game out."
Right.
we played horrible.
Yeah, this whole division, like the AFC North, any one of these teams could realistically win this division. I think the problem now, the Raiders have to really overcome some adversity with the coach, with the Ruggs situation. They just let another player go, one of their top draft picks from last season, the cornerback. So they're going through a lot, and I think they're going to be in a transition mode, honestly, with ownership, obviously a new head coach next season. So there's a lot going on with the Raiders. I don't think they can hold their ground enough. Key is, can Kansas City take over and finally become the top dog in this division?
Well, I don't see how they can't. I really don't. I mean, look, Kansas City's is still too good. Yeah, I know they've had their problems this year, but if they can turn that around, I think it's just a matter of playing right. I mean, this is a team that they used to get a lot of those deep passes. Now they got to adjust to that because they're not getting those deep passes.
Teams are
like
playing
they used to.
Yeah, teams are playing a lot different.
Right. So you take that away from them. Now they got to figure out another way to win, and that's the hard part. Is they got to change their way of thinking. You can't go for that long ball all the time now. You have to get those intermediate passes. And there was a time in that Green Bay game where Kelsey was wide open right in the middle of the field, just standing there like, throw me the ball. And he went deep to like double coverage, and there was nothing there. And that's on Mahomes. So, you can't always get that deep threat going. And it's just not there this year. So they gotta start working the middle of the field with Kelsey and having receivers cross through the middle and doing it that way rather than having to go deep. Yeah, send somebody deep is fine, but make sure you have
those underneath routes. Yeah, and he just not his game, and he's gonna have to learn to adjust and change. So 7 teams make the playoffs. Am I correct?
Yes.
First round bye, and then 6
yes.
play, right? And then, so if we're going to go off of 6, I need one more. Who's the 7 teams that are making the playoffs in the AFC?
Well, I still say it's going to be Buffalo, Kansas City, Cleveland, and Tennessee winning their divisions. I'm sticking with it.
Okay.
I'm not confident about Cleveland.
Yeah,
I'm not confident about Cleveland, but I'm going to stick with it because that's who I picked, and they're still there. And I'm going to go still.
It's tough.
It's tough. I'm going to stay with what I got. I'm going to go with the Chargers, New England, and Pittsburgh. Yes, I know I'm leaving Baltimore out, but for all intents and purposes, if Cleveland isn't there winning that division, then it will be Baltimore. I'm still saying Pittsburgh is making the playoffs.
I like it. I've got Buffalo, New England, Baltimore, Cleveland, Tennessee, the Chargers, and the Chiefs.
So you have everybody but
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
I don't have Pittsburgh. Cleveland gets in over Pittsburgh, and Baltimore holds on to the division.
Yeah, see, I think it's either going to be Baltimore or Cleveland taking the division, and Pittsburgh is getting in.
So, if I recall, I believe I had Kansas City winning the AFC.
Yes.
Who would you say today as the midseason? Who wins the AFC?
Well, I had Cleveland going to the Super Bowl. I do not see that happening. Not now. Oh my God.
Go Chiefs. Paulson, Chiefs fan. It's a tough one, man.
Tough.
I'll go out on a limb. Tennessee Titans.
I was thinking that because that's the only team right now that has played consistently.
Yeah.
Boy, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And the more I'm looking at this, the more I'm thinking it could be Kansas City. I don't like it. Sorry, Paulson. I mean, I know I'm picking your team.
I just think their offense. I don't know. There's something about the offense there.
Why not just stay with what I said? Cleveland's going.
All right. I like it. That's a man of integrity. That's what you are, Ron. You
Yeah,
say it,
Cleveland. I'm going to say Cleveland.
live or die by it. It don't matter.
That's right. They'll figure it
Don't
out.
matter.
They
It
get
don't
rid of
matter.
a problem.
All right.
Now they can figure
Hopefully
it
they
out.
don't figure it out this week.
No, we don't want them to figure it out this week.
And we haven't discussed this, but OBJ.
I know.
So
He's out there. He's a free agent.
Let's see. I told you 4 p.m. today. They officially teams could pick him up.
Yeah.
So we haven't heard any news. I'm hoping he's taking a flight to Boston right now. That would change the complexity of this week's game.
Would he go to Boston or would he go to Providence? I think he would go to Providence.
Providence, and then they usually, shoot him over. All right, we ready for the NFC?
Yeah. Of course, I'm ready for the NFC.
NFC. So NFC East, which when we had our preview show, we said this was probably going to be the what if division. There were so many questions that we weren't sure about. And I had it as Washington, New York, Dallas, Philly.
Yeah, you really bungled that one.
This one, I told you, what if division.
I had the Giants.
Yeah.
I had Dallas Cowboys. I had Washington and Philly.
All right. So the division currently, Dallas 6-2, the division leader. Philly at 3-6 in second. The Giants at 3-6 in third, and Washington at 2-6 and in fourth.
Yeah.
So a couple key things, right? Obviously, the injury to Fitzpatrick definitely hurt Washington. I don't think they would have been much better, but I don't think they'd be 2-6 either. I think he's a little bit better than what they've been putting out there. The Giants are shocking to me. The Giants were that team that I really expected that it was all going to come together. Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley back, so he's had the injury bugs still continue to bother him.
Yeah,
they picked up some good free agents with Galladay on offense, and it just hasn't seemed to materialize the way I thought it would have.
No, it's been horrible.
Philly in second? I didn't expect that either.
No.
3-6, granted, but I mean,
like it really doesn't matter what place they are in, second, third, and fourth.
All right, so let me ask you this: bad loss this week by Dallas.
Yeah,
this previous week, right? Very bad loss to the Denver Broncos. Could we see the Dallas Cowboys start to fall back a little bit and possibly somebody, make a move in this division?
Look, they could fall back a lot and still win the division. I can't see anybody catching them. I can't see it. There's a little piece of me thinking, hey, well, maybe the Giants can get on a roll and make a push. But I don't see it happening. Now I had Dallas making the playoffs anyway, so that is good for me. No, Dallas is not going to fall back that far.
So
unless they get an injury.
Yeah, and it's nice too. Washington's defense, which last year was so good, this year is just not as
well. They're out on the field too much.
Yeah,
that's the problem, Eric. You can't play 2/3 of the game on defense. You can't do it. You will give up a lot of points no matter what. You just can't be out there too long.
So currently, as it stands, do we think that's how the division is going to finish?
No.
I still think the Giants overtake Philly.
I think both overtake Philly. I really do.
Washington as well?
Yeah. Okay. We're only a game back.
I know. Good point. Good point. NFC North. So
this is the interesting division.
Fun division. How did you have this one?
What did I have? Green Bay, Minnesota, Chicago, Detroit.
All right. I had Green Bay, Chicago, Minnesota, Detroit. Currently, as it stands, Green Bay is in first, 7-2. Minnesota second at 3-5. Chicago in third at 3-6, and Detroit is in last at 0-8. And I saw one of the best memes I saw this week was it showed bye week, one win, Detroit 0-9 because they even lost in the bye week. They can't even beat the bye week. So bye week actually
That's
beats the Detroit
that's
Lions.
hilarious. That's hilarious.
So Green Bay, obviously, we expected to be where they're at.
Yeah.
Right. Aaron Rodgers should be back, I think, this week, unless he gets suspended. Minnesota. Major questions.
Yeah, this is like the team of this is the what if team. You know what I'm saying? Like this team puzzles me because they should be doing better. They should be doing better. They should be in a playoffs. They should be in a playoff spot. Uh, uh, look, you look on paper, this team is better than a lot of the teams out in the NFC that are vying for this the final playoff spot. Look, they can turn it around. They can turn it around, but
so the problem with them, do you realize that they last week or this previous Sunday played Baltimore? It went to overtime.
Yeah.
Both of those teams have played the most overtime games so far this season.
Yeah.
The problem is that Baltimore is winning those games. Minnesota isn't. So they're capable enough to get there to that final spot, and then just can't hold off and win games.
This is what I'm saying.
Not have a losing record right now.
This team should be what 5-3.
I would think so.
5-4. Whatever. How many games have they played?
8. So yeah, 5 and
3. That's where they should be. 5-3. You know, and losing those games that got away from them, that hurts, and that's why they're in the position they're in. You know, but again, it's a very top heavy league in both conferences. AFC's top heavy, but but they can easily get in because you got to go up against like New Orleans. New Orleans can be beat. Like, I still believe Minnesota is a better team than New Orleans. I look. We've said a lot about coaching this year, and I think Minnesota should have made the change.
Yeah, I think Mike Zimmer definitely has shown that he's a great guy. You know, he's done a lot. Yeah. But he just is not a coach to get you to a championship.
No.
And it's not a knock on him. I mean, listen, he gets it. The team performs well. I think it's coaching errors at the end of these games that are probably costing them. And ultimately, get the right coach in there. Those are games they win. Yep. They become a contender in the NFC.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I gotta hope that Minnesota can turn it around because I like the core of that team, minus Cousins. But I think they should be a playoff team.
What about your boy in Chicago?
Fields?
I
mean, he's done okay. He hasn't looked that great, but I mean, he's had his moments.
Right, he's starting to turn it around. Listen, that last playoff spot, honestly, is still up in the air. They could still make it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm not saying they can't. I don't think Chicago will. Like, look, he's clearly playing like a rookie. And, he hasn't had a whole lot of help either. Like, the offensive line hasn't really done a good job. Receivers aren't getting open like they should be. The whole planning of that offense really isn't injuries.
Yeah.
I mean, they've had injuries. So, it's something that they're going to have for their future, and the future looks bright.
And again,
as long as they can, yeah, exactly.
So if you think about 3 bad coaches in this division,
yeah,
right? Matt Nagy, Mike Zimmer, and I'm drawing a blank on Detroit's.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
and listen,
They have a blank in their
Campbell.
win column.
Campbell, and I knew right from the first opening press conference that this guy was not going to be a good NFL coach. Kenny seemed to think Detroit was going to be much higher. I wish he was here right now so we could definitely cheer him up.
He's been trying.
Yeah, because as Jared Goff was MVP, he was better than Mahomes. I believe he said I couldn't like everything he had said, and we kept telling Detroit's the worst team in the NFL, and their record's showing it. The only one we said they would compete was Houston, and both of them are fighting for that number 1 spot right now in the draft.
Yeah, Houston is probably saying, "Come on, Detroit, win a goddamn game."
Think about this: what does Detroit do? Do they grab a quarterback? He's in hiding, Kenny's. I like that one. So if you think about it, Detroit just got Goff. I believe they paid him. I like you like the Lions. I feel bad for you. I really do. They've been bad for so long. But what do they draft? Honestly, do they draft a quarterback? Do they? That's going to be the key there for them.
Yeah.
I like the colors. It's not the team. It's the colors. I love it. I'm a football coach. This is a go. All right. You going to Detroit? This is gold. Oh, awesome. Thank you. Hulk, thanks for joining. Paulson, where do you coach? What level? High school, college, pros? So we're just going to assume the Detroit Lions, can any movement be made in this division? I still think Chicago could overtake Minnesota.
I don't think so.
I do. I just think their defense, they've got a good enough defense, and if Fields can start to figure out some stuff, which he's doing. He's played probably 2 of his best games now.
Yeah, but he's got too much to overcome.
High school offensive coordinator. Awesome.
Too
thanks
much
for joining.
To overcome, to get past Minnesota right now. And I know Minnesota has those same problems, and that is coaching.
That's what I'm saying.
But I think the Minnesota Vikings have established players enough that they can pull off some wins despite coaching. Look, I'm still waiting for Minnesota to wake up. And
Turd, thanks for the bits.
I'm just going to say it's going to finish as it is.
So you got him in. Okay. NFC South. And this division's changed a lot just based on some injuries. But I had Tampa Bay, New Orleans, Atlanta, Carolina. How did you have it?
I believe I had Tampa Bay. Did I have Atlanta? I might have had Atlanta, New Orleans.
Yeah,
I'm not sure about those two. No, I wasn't big on New Orleans.
With the Brees thing. So the
Carolina
division
I had last.
The division currently, as I had predicted, Tampa Bay in first at 6-2, New Orleans in second at 5-3, Atlanta 4-4 is in third, and Carolina 4-5 in fourth place.
Yeah. So what I said is probably going to happen because New Orleans is going to fall off because now
Taysom Hill, he's a legitimate quarterback. There was a debate if they should have kept Winston. So there's confidence that Taysom Hill can still quarterback this team and get some victories. He adds an element that Winston doesn't. And honestly, Winston hasn't performed that well when he was in before the injury. There was ups and downs with him. So there's a really good possibility they may be better now with Taysom Hill.
I mean, it's possible, but I mean...
And listen, the rumor out there is OBJ. OBJ to them. That's big. Because then you got Kamara. You throw OBJ as now to replace Michael Thomas, who's not coming back this season. New Orleans can honestly, and remember this, they still got Tampa again. And Tampa Bay and Tom Brady do not play well against New Orleans. He's lost 3 straight to them since being in Tampa Bay.
Yep.
Other than the playoffs, when it really mattered in New Orleans.
When it really matters.
But in the regular season, New Orleans. So, look, Atlanta's playing above their head. I don't think Atlanta's that good. 4-4.
Oh, I don't
mean,
think they're good either.
Right? They're above their head.
I
Carolina.
didn't have any of these teams making the playoffs except for Tampa Bay. I didn't have any of them. And it's like, so the only difference really, if I take out the Giants and I put in one of those teams, like
New Orleans.
I can, yeah, either New Orleans or Atlanta. I'm still gonna say Atlanta's gonna overtake them, but.
And what about Carolina? Do we feel like Sam Darnold, the ghosts are back? And
no, they're where they are for the rest of the season in last place.
He's
last
done.
Place. They're talking about, people are like clamoring for Cam to return
to Carolina. Isn't that insane?
That's crazy.
I don't understand it.
It's craziness. Be careful what you wish for.
Right? It doesn't make any sense. The fact that Cam's still out there, and there's been a rash of injuries now at the quarterback position, and nobody's even looked at him.
Look, because he can't make the throws anymore. That's why he's not a good quarterback anymore.
Would you not have thought he'd be a better option than Geno Smith, though, for Seattle? Well,
no.
You don't, right? You thought Geno Smith's a better quarterback than
right now? Yes.
I don't know about that. That part of it, so that's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Look. You see him throwing the ball in the preseason. The Patriots designed the most simplest plays for him. And why? Because he can't learn any of the other plays. And that's as far as it goes. He can't do the difficult plays. He can't learn them. If you can't learn them, then you're kind of useless in today's quarterback situation.
I think the problem with Cam Newton, honestly, is he refuses to change what he was.
Right.
And if you look at it, the league's caught up to him, and he needs to become more cerebral, and it's not all about athleticism anymore. You're not going to outrun linebackers anymore.
No.
You've been in the league 10 years. You've had some injuries. And these linebackers now are basically converted safeties who can run, can catch up to you. So he needed to learn how to do certain things. When he said he couldn't recognize a mic, or he never had to do that in offense, that's complete garbage. That's part of football now. That is one of the things that every quarterback's expected to do. And for some reason, Cam Newton couldn't figure it out.
Right.
But I still think he was an option for some of these teams. And the fact that nobody's even you haven't heard his name even mentioned, it's a little surprising to me. Just a little.
It's not to me. It's not to me. I'm not surprised. Look, if you don't have the ability to do the plays that are currently needed in today's NFL, it's not the same NFL as 5 years ago.
But would you say Adrian Peterson's a legitimate running back at this point in his career? I wouldn't. But the Tennessee Titans, who are desperate, said, I'm going to take a shot on Adrian Peterson, who's 36 and has been sitting at home.
Right. You
can't tell me there's not a team out there. There's got to be something else about Cam Newton that the teams just don't like. Because there's
a hell of a difference between a quarterback and a running back. Look, I feel running backs today, they're a dime a dozen. And you can go out and get a guy to run. All he has to do is hit that hole, and if you can get a few yards, he's doing his job. It's different with a quarterback because now you have to dissect all these defenses that are being thrown at you. You have to make certain throws that you probably wouldn't have to do 5 years ago. And all of those plays are so more complex that he can't do those. So therefore, if you can't do what you need to do in today's NFL as a quarterback, you don't have a job. And he's clearly behind all of these players that are in the league right now. And that goes for all these young kids that are third stringers. They know the game. Like Mike White. Would you take Mike White over Cam Newton right now? Yes. Yes.
I would. Yes. It's crazy. It's just crazy to think about. And I'm not a Cam fan by no stretch of the imagination, but
I understand it. You would think, okay, so somebody's going to pick him up, but the more you dissect what he can do now, is a lot different than what it was before. Yeah, before he could run. He was more, and look, even that has slowed down.
Yep.
And if that's your best asset and it's slowing down, what more people don't need to know more. They don't need to know more. They know what happened in New England. You don't think that every coach talks to Bill Belichick and Bill Belichick tells them basically what it is.
Yeah,
and
normally
behind
Bill can
closed
get
doors.
something out of a guy that most teams can't, and he couldn't do it with Cam. They
No.
tried.
And
They tried to change the offense.
and he was
They
a
tried to do
big
lot of different
fan
things.
of Cam Newton. He
Yes,
was
he
a
was.
big fan. That's why he gave him the shot.
Yeah. So we'll have to see again with those quarterback injuries, though. If that, I mean, at this point, it's getting so late in the season, I can't see anybody picking them up. We're on to the NFC West, the last division, and I had this one: the Rams, the Seahawks, the Niners, and the Arizona Cardinals. How did you have it?
I had it Arizona, Rams, I believe it was Seattle, then San Francisco.
Yeah, I completely muffed this one up.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. So currently it's Arizona at 8-1, LA at 7-2, Seattle at 3-5, and San Francisco at 3-5 in the last place.
Bing, 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 bing.
Does Arizona hold on to the one?
Yeah, that's what I predicted. So yeah,
Still no Kyler Murray again, no D Hop probably this week again, possibly. Eventually those injuries catch up to you. Yes, you got to win this week, but I don't know. I think the Rams, after a bad loss, are due to bounce back.
Yep.
Another team that's in the OBJ discussion, the Rams. So
okay? So there's a team that if they get OBJ, it's useful.
but I don't even understand it. Like, how do they afford them? They've given up all their draft picks. They signed all these guys. They've got all the I don't even understand how this is possible. I don't know. Listen, he needs to go to New England, and not because we're homies. It's because we're homies. He needs to go to New England.
I don't know.
In this division, surprise!
I want him there.
Seattle, right? I know the Wilson injury kind of derailed them a little bit. San Francisco is not doing what we expected them to do.
Well, that defense isn't doing what we expected it to do.
And Jimmy Garoppolo is not that good of a quarterback. He's an average quarterback. Can we finally admit that? He doesn't – listen, he's not going to win you games for the most part. He's going to be out-injured most of the time. And it happened again this season.
Yeah, it did.
Right? So they bit on Trey Lance and the fact that they were going to be able to, get this kid ready and groom him for the next couple of years.
Do you think Trey Lance is going to pan out?
No, not to what they gave up for him. No. So listen, Arizona is right now the best team in this division, but I could still see the Rams overtaking them.
Oh, I can too, but
especially after the addition of Von Miller, that defense, right? Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey. We did the triple play the other day, and it's just an interesting dynamic for them.
If there's no injuries involved, then yes, of course, I think Arizona would hold on.
But you don't think Arizona's overachieving? Did you really expect them to be this good? They got the best record in the NFL.
Yes.
You had them as the best team in the NFL.
I had them at 15-2.
Yeah, you and your rankings. So you had Buffalo too at 15-2.
Yeah. So what's your point?
You're already wrong on that one. So what's the 7 teams that get in?
If Buffalo wins out, then I'm only off by 1.
I got you. What's the 7 teams that get in here in the NFC?
Okay,
Dallas.
so I had Tampa Bay, Arizona, Green Bay, Dallas, Rams, and then I have, at the beginning of the season, I have Minnesota and New York. Those 2 teams could come off the board. I'm still hoping Minnesota gets in. But then you can see maybe New Orleans or Atlanta.
So
Whoever wins that one, Maybe Seattle can do enough to get back into it.
I've
That's
got
going to be tough.
Dallas going, Green Bay going, Minnesota getting in the last spot, Tampa Bay, New Orleans gets in, Arizona, and the Rams.
Yeah, that's, we basically have the same thing.
Who do you got coming out of the NFC?
Oh, the Rams.
So
the Rams winning the Super Bowl.
You're hyping up the Cardinals, the number one team, the best team in the NFL, and you're picking them not to go all the way?
Right.
That makes sense.
It does make sense.
How do you figure that?
Okay, it's a matter of the scheduling.
Oh, now it's the scheduling.
And I have them going 15-2, winning the division.
Go ahead.
The Rams are close behind.
Yep.
But the Rams will have, because of the full package, will have a better playoff run and will go through and win the Super Bowl.
Let's see here. So they play each other again December 13th.
Yep.
Oof.
What week is that?
What is that? Probably, what are we on now? Week 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14th. It's a Monday night game.
Monday night game. I have Arizona winning that game. It's at Arizona.
It is. All right. So I got the Rams coming out.
It's all right here, baby. It's all right here.
I had originally. Who do you got winning it? So you have what are your two teams again? Kansas City and the Rams. Who wins?
No, I picked the Rams and Cleveland, and I just got done telling you that I'm going to stick with Cleveland and go with it.
And the Rams. Okay, go ahead. Who wins it?
Rams.
Rams win it. So originally I had Kansas City in the Rams. I went and I'm going Tennessee and the Rams. So a rematch of a previous Super Bowl. Mr. Kurt Warner, greatest show on turf. And they hung on to win, beating Steve McNair. But the Rams win it again.
Yeah.
All right. I love it. So we're going to do some 4 quick categories. We'll start with our biggest surprise. Our biggest surprise team.
Surprise team.
Sorry.
Biggest surprise to me. Wait, as in good?
Whatever you want, however you want it. I mean, we're going to do biggest disappointments. So
okay, so
I would say biggest surprise.
Biggest surprise team to me.
On a positive.
I know the team was good, but I gotta say Baltimore. Like what they did with all those injuries, it was devastating when it came one after another, and they held it together. And I have to go with Baltimore. I could go with Dallas. That's the easy one, but I think what Baltimore went through early on, I think Baltimore is the surprise team.
So my surprise team, and I know you hate these because you say it's the easy way out, but it's not. Because if you look at how I originally had them, I said every one of these teams would be over 500 in the NFC West. I didn't expect the Arizona Cardinals to be 8-1. Have the best record in the league. That's the biggest surprise to me. I know it's the best team in the league, but to me, I didn't expect them to be this.
Yeah, good. No, and that's understandable.
So that's why I had them as my biggest surprise.
And I had Baltimore finishing third because I didn't think they were going to recover from all those injuries.
Yeah, exactly. They shouldn't have. Realistically, you lose all 3 of your running backs. You lose your starting cornerback. Now they lost their starting safety, and they're still figuring ways to win.
Yeah.
Biggest disappointments or disappointment? Yeah, I got 2.
Well, right now, it looks like Cleveland in the AFC.
Okay.
Because they should have ran away with that division. I'm sorry, they should have. They had everything pointing in the right direction except winning the games. So Um, and frankly, the Giants. The Giants look
Thank you, sir.
horrible.
I have the Giants.
Horrible.
That's one of my teams. The Giants definitely were one of those teams that I think, all expected to be better than what they are. My other one, though, I had to throw them in there, was the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep, I was thinking about them too.
How they don't look like just a top caliber team. They look like an average team. And, listen, yes, they have a winning record. They still have a ton of talent on that team, but I really expected to see maybe 1 loss, 2 losses at most going into the season. And even the 5 wins, I mean, none of them have been convincing. They're really not the Kansas City Chiefs that we're used to seeing.
And look, we had the topic of why. And that was just the offensive side of the ball. The defensive side of the ball has been a mess as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So a good pick, because I was debating which one I wanted to do.
Yeah, and I agree with you with Cleveland, because we said on paper, listen, they were a playoff team last year. They're struggling to get in already at this point this season. So, it doesn't make sense. They traded away one of their top wide receivers. Mayfield, has not been what we expected him to be after last season. So, very big disappointment. Who would you have as your head coach if we were voting for the head coach of the year, which obviously we'll do a post-season NFL show, and we'll have all of our awards and everything we're going to give out as well. But if you were, and then the season was ending today, who is your head coach of the year?
Harbaugh. He kept that team afloat, didn't get down.
Yeah.
To me, that's an easy one. A harder one would be what's his name? The interim coach for the Raiders. It's only been there for a couple of weeks, but look what they're going through. If they somehow manage to make the playoffs, do you not go with him? I mean, if they make the playoffs,
even if they make
go
the
through a
playoffs,
scandal with your head coach, and then Ruggs, he has to deal with all the players after that. That is a lot for an interim head coach to deal with. Could you imagine if they make the playoffs?
I can't see it happening. But if they do, I mean, great job to him. I don't think he keeps the job in Las Vegas, but it might give him a head coaching job somewhere else.
Absolutely.
I think Vegas is going to clean house after this season.
I think so, too.
So my head coach,
I don't think they're going to make the playoffs either. But
I don't either. My head coach of the year, if I had to choose right now, I'm going Mike Tomlin, because I really expected this team to fall apart. And we all started to see it, right? Ben's getting old. How long is he going to stay healthy?
Yep.
They lost so many weapons. They're not going to be the same team. He's got them in the playoff picture at 5-3.
Yeah.
I think they're overachieving. So I went.
And I'm not a big Mike Tomlin fan. But
listen, the man's a proven winner. I'll give him that from the standpoint of regular season. Hasn't correlated in championships as much.
Right.
But the guy knows how to make sure that his teams have a winning record at the end of the year.
Absolutely. You're absolutely 100% right. 100%.
And he's doing it again. And he's doing it again, which is,
with
again,
a team that has no business being
right.
there.
Shouldn't be. Exactly. All right. So we're going to end this with our MVP. So if we had to pick one player right now that's going to be the MVP of the league, who do you have? Jared Goff, Kenny would say right now. So we'll just give Jared Goff a nod for Kenny. Kenny, that one's for you, buddy. Jared Goff.
Look, there's a lot of candidates. There's a lot of them. Brett Favre.
Brett Favre is back.
Aaron Rodgers.
He made a comeback.
Kyler Murray. You know,
that's what he think. Hey, Brett Favre made a comeback before Cam Newton.
Yeah. He probably would.
He would pick him before Cam Newton.
And if somebody went out there and asked Brett Favre to play, he'd come back.
He would.
I
mean, he'd have his Papa fit, but I mean, he'd be all right.
Look, I gotta go with Stafford. I have no choice because I'm looking at, okay, look what they were with Goff. And then now look at them with Stafford. Stafford just adds a whole dimension to this team.
Yeah.
And it's making the defense play better because they don't have to be out there very long because Stafford always has the ball. So the defense is just firing on all cylinders. The offense is firing on all cylinders. It's got to be Stafford.
No, I love that pick. I'm going to go, and it breaks my heart, but I'm going to go with my man over here. Wrong way. That one. Tom Brady. I just think about it. Almost every game, he's throwing 4 touchdowns. And if they get a rash of injuries. Grunk's been out. Now Antonio Brown's out. And that offense just keeps going. If those guys are out, he throws 3 touchdowns to Mike Evans. Like, it don't matter. Whoever's in there, he's just
that's where I think OBJ is going to end up.
Nah, I don't think they have the room for him.
Look, they'll find room. They'll find room. I'm telling you, you watch.
Let's hope that doesn't happen. Let's hope that doesn't happen.
You watch.
New England. We'll be announcing it. We'll do a sports flash if OBJ goes to New England. I like that, Ron. We should do that.
Okay.
So once again, if you've enjoyed what we did, this was our NFL mid-season review show. We had a lot of participation. You guys have been great. Polson, thank you for joining. Sway, Kenny, Turd Mistress, Hulk, Sarah, right? Yep. OG. Appreciate all you guys. Check us out Friday nights, 6 p.m. We are live. We do our Sports Unfolded show. We talk about so many different topics. We cover everything from NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, NBA, college. It doesn't matter. Whatever's going on in the week, we cover boxing, MMA. It don't matter. Soccer, we've got to get better at because we've got a lot of UK out there. So we appreciate everybody that's from the UK. So we'll start getting into some soccer a little bit. But join us live Friday nights, 6 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Rhode Island _broadcasting on Twitch, on Facebook and YouTube on Rhode Island Broadcasting.
What you guys need to tell us is what league do you want us to cover out in UK?
Oh, gee, we'll look forward to seeing you on Friday night. He said he'll be there. Awesome. Also, check us out on social media. Follow us at Sports Unfolded on Facebook and Twitter, at Broadcasting RI on Twitter, Sports _Unfolded on Instagram. And you can check us out at podcasts if you don't have time to watch. Amazon, Anchor, Google, and Spotify. So many different ways to watch us. If you enjoy wrestling, Thursday night, 7 p.m., Wrestling Den. The Sports Unfolded presents the Wrestling Den with Rick and Nick. Check them out. But OG, we expect to see you. Check us out. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. We need the support. You guys have been great. We appreciate all the bits today. Turd, thank you for the bits as well. You guys.
Hey, we also, Eric, don't forget, we also have the Rhode Island Broadcasting and Sports Unfolded Discord.
Discord now, yes. Yes, so you can get that information on the Rhode Island Broadcasting page, correct?
Yes.
So check that out. We also have websites. You can check us out on our websites. So many different ways to watch Sports Unfolded. We're trying to do great things. We love the fan. We love talking sports. We enjoy doing this. We've been doing it for a long time. There it is. There's the Discord. Join our Discord site.
Yeah, that's the Rhode Island Broadcasting one. If you give me a minute, I can get the other one.
Right. So Sports Unfolded, we're putting up all our polls every Monday on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, also on the Discord. So you can check out our top 5 rankings for the NFL, NHL, and NBA. So many different ways, so many things we're doing right now. We're really excited. And we're keep trying to expand. So we're going to be out there. We're going to be everywhere. Sports Unfolded is coming to you somewhere. So check us out, follow us, share us, tell your friends about us, have them all join, man, because we are going to have a blast every Friday night at 6 p.m. And we'll continue to do these shows. So Ron, great show. Do you guys do sports betting? We do not. We do a segment where we do predictions. We do predictions where we pick usually a bunch of games on who we feel is going to win those games. Nothing to do with the spreads, though. We don't do the spreads. But if you're questioning who's going to win a game and you want to bet on that, Usually, I'm better than Ron is at picking.
Hey, I won again. I won again this week.
You did win again. You did win. You did.
I think I pretty much evened it up.
Yeah, it's pretty close. It's pretty close. But we do a lot of different segments too on the show, so you guys will enjoy it, man. I'm telling you right now. We do a pick and roll. We usually we rank 5 different things. So many different things we do. A triple play, our face-offs, which we just get heated and argue about. So you guys, you'll really enjoy it.
Yeah, we got heated this week on that pick and roll.
Pick and roll, man.
You were wrong, by the way.
No, because Joe Torre is the best manager.
No, he's had the least amount
of Major League Baseball. Not because I'm a Yankee fan. Ron, it's been a pleasure, man. You've been great.
Always a
great
pleasure.
Show. NFL midseason show. Be ready once the season ends, man. We'll do a Super Bowl preview show, and then we'll do a postseason NFL show as well. Hopefully, Kenny will be able to jump on for those, so we can really get some really great insight on why Jared Goff didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, Kenny's a good chum with the subs.
Right? Yes, and get some subs in there and follows. You guys have been great. Ron, we'll see you on Friday night, 6 p.m., my friend.
Absolutely.
Fans out there, have a great night. OG, expect to see you on there Friday night, 6 p.m. That's Eastern Standard Time. All right? So check us out.
Have a good night, everybody.